Yeah, so once you build up an audience, 5, 10,000 visitors a month at least, then you can start monetizing. The thing I would do is I would collect emails still in the short run, create a lead magnet. If I had a blog on yoga, I may end up having a lead magnet on like 101 ways to do advanced yoga as a beginner, and then start collecting emails, and then I can test out promoting courses, ebooks, affiliate products, AdSense ads. And typically ads like AdSense or banner ads tend not to perform the best. The other channels tend to do better, but I'll test them all out and go from there. Yeah, so when it comes with different brands is they want to work with people who have loyal audiences, who they trust, who care for their audiences. So just foster a really good audience, reply to comments, go live on the social web so that way you're building a deeper connection with people. Don't put out content that, they always say don't talk about religion, don't talk about politics, and there's the third one. I forgot what the third one is. But don't talk about religion and politics or anything that can offend people. Try to stay neutral, so that way brands are willing to work with you. Yeah, so I haven't done too many plugins for ads, and the reason being is I think it's a terrible way to monetize. But generally speaking, there's plugins for affiliate related stuff. I don't know one on top of my hand. I just put in tracking links myself, and I do it manually. As for ebooks and things like that, you can end up using a Membrarian, which plugs into WordPress, or you can use tools like Kajabi for a membership site. And that's how it start off when it comes to promoting like ebooks and stuff like that. And then when you're doing customized deals, let's say if a brand comes to you, a lot of times you don't really need any plugins for that. And there are plugins for everything, but keep in mind if you just install too many plugins, chances are it's going to slow down your WordPress site, or your website, which is also going to slow down or reduce your traffic and your conversions over time. Every time I write a blog post, I email out the people I link to, and I tell them, hey, I linked to you. Check out my post. Feel free and share it on your favorite social web. And a lot of people do that because they're flattered. The second thing I would do is I would go on social networks like Twitter, see who shared other people's content that was similar, and I hit them up, ask them to share my content, and I let them know, hey, if you ever want me to share your content, let me know. The third thing that I do is I cross-link. So every time I post a new piece of content, I'll go into my old pieces of content that are related and link back out to the new one. The fourth thing that I do is I use a backlink opportunity report in Ubersuggest, and I see who's linked out to some of my competitor URLs. If someone's linked out to 3-4 of your competitors, but they haven't linked out to you, the chances are they're willing to link to you because they link to multiple competitors. So I hit them up, tell them how my content is better, more thorough, more detailed, and better for their audience, and ask them for a link. The next thing I do is I do an email blast. So every time I publish a new piece of content, I'll do an email blast. If I'm publishing more than one a day or anything like that, I'll limit my email blasts to 2 or 3 a week because you don't want to burn people out. So to your best posts. You've already shared your content on the social web, and you'll also want to make sure you send out push notification blasts, messenger blasts, and that's roughly how I promote my content, and it works well. You should. So the first is most people who set up Google Analytics will track their traffic, but they're not actually tracking their conversions. See, traffic is great, but you need to know what traffic sources convert the best. So by setting up goal tracking and conversion tracking, you can see what's causing people to go down the funnel, and you can see what traffic sources perform the best. And then you also want to look at your funnel, which Google Analytics provides, and look at where the drop-off is, and then work on optimizing those pages with A/B testing. And you can use like Crazy Egg or VWO or Optimize, Google Optimize as well, and then A/B test those pages within your funnel to reduce the drop-off. So a lot of times when people visit a site, the simplest version of a funnel is they visit your site, they go to a product page, add to cart, they go to checkout, and then they purchase. That's a funnel, right? People take steps before they buy. And you may lose people because you have a bad product page or a terrible shopping experience or not enough payment options on your checkout page. So you need to give them, you need to optimize each of those pages so you can optimize your funnel. You want more people going through each step. The more you have dropping off, the less people you'll have at the end checking out. It's the drop-off rate. So from one step to another, you'll see in Google Analytics the percentage of drop off. If the percentage of drop off continually increases, then that means you know that you need to work on that page. So whatever pages have the highest percentage of drop offs is the page that you need to work on first, typically. Conversion rate, the higher the conversion rate, the better, ideally in the multiple percentage points. You need to look at satisfaction. So are people really leaving good reviews? They're not refunding. Another thing that you need to look at is, are they telling other people about it? Is it creating a viral effect? Another thing that I would end up looking at is when you're selling products, right, and you're trying to generate revenue from your website, are people actually very delighted where they're going to email you, leave good reviews, not just on your website, but actually talk to you and tell you about it? And another thing I would actually look at is survey feedback. I would actually survey people, get to know them through tools like SurveyMonkey, figure out what they like, what they don't like, how you can improve as well, and maybe even some upsells or downsells or other product offerings that you can offer to increase your lifetime value. I would just make sure that you are creating content in mass scale. It really is a hit or miss game. You can't control what's going to go viral and what's not. Sometimes you produce content and the content goes viral. Sometimes it doesn't. And that's why I always tell people, just write content consistently, because you'll get the hit or misses and you can't control it. So just don't focus on going viral, because it's something that's just not sustainable. What we found is usually when you think you're going to go viral, you don't. And when you don't think you're going to go viral, you do. A lot of times it's hit or miss, and it's just out of your control. Create a content schedule. Make sure that you set out time each and every single week to create content, and stick with it, and just make sure you're writing the content. I just use Microsoft Word, or you can use Google Docs, and then I just write. But in my Google Calendar, I put in blocks of time to write content and publish and edit.